I thought I clicked the right button. I didn't. Now there's sound. What a way to start. That's what happens when you don't sleep before these things, Oh, man. Okay, well, we have sound now. Okay, so the chat can let me know that we have sound now. Yes, thank you so much. We do have a special guest here today helping me co-host and bring across drag this program to the finish line is the legendary JAMIE Silvestri. She's here. Say hello to everybody this time for real.
Good morning, my neighbors.
Oh, gosh. Damn rookies screaming into the headphones.
Screaming
right into them. Ouch. That's not the right way to do it.
I told you I was going to wake you up.
Yeah, but that's not the right way to do it. It's not, good morning, my neighbors. Unfortunately, I had a plan with... I'm gonna be completely completely transparent now, and Kevin obviously is the one commenting from this channel, saying that was weak. But I can tell you that we tried to rehearse this last night. It's supposed to be. Let me just say, the movie is Coming to America, which you apparently have never seen, which is a crime in and of itself. The chat's gonna have a field day with that. But this is something that we tried to rehearse this last night. This is not a cheerleading competition in the movie. It's not, good morning, my neighbors.
I'm just enthusiastic.
No.
But
Eddie Murphy's very enthusiastic in that scene. And he goes, good morning, my neighbors. And then the rest of the chat usually curses out Kevin. When you sit in his seat over here, there's no reason for it. Ooh, yay, good morning. No! So, unfortunately, if I had my phone, Kevin and I had a plan. He was supposed to... I was supposed to give him the call-in number, and if you did something as silly as what, it wasn't as big,
silly
it was
as
a little
that.
silly, but if he did something like as silly as that, we would have had him call in and do it himself. But the phone's dead. The phone's dead because my luck with phones, is not very good. But anyway, welcome to the program, JAMIE Silvestri. It's the first time you've been on the show, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we've had some fun. We were in Arizona. We were all over the place causing trouble down in Media Row, chasing down Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz and all that. So it was a lot of fun in Arizona. What were you doing specifically over there in Turning Point? Let everybody know, kind of, because you're a new face. People have seen you around, but you're a new face to the morning stream, and so let everyone. There she is again. The legendary Tatiana Ibrahim in the chat, as well
beautiful. Good morning.
She's a legend as well, so it's a Wednesday. But yeah, let everyone know what you were doing in Arizona and what you kind of been doing, whatever you can talk about. I know there's some top secret sources and methods. Sources and methods, okay? Anonymous sources. No. Let everybody know what you've been up to.
Yes. So over the past year, I've been working in media, and we've been able to travel to all of these conferences, and we're basically able to connect with everybody who's been censored or all the major speakers at these events who are really working to lead a free speech movement and the patriot movement to make sure that Americans are being put first. So I'm working with Revolution Media, and we pair up with different veteran groups to go around, and we've been collecting interviews from some really exciting people like Matt Gaetz and Burgess Owens most recently, and of course you guys. That was a blast.
Oh, we had fun with that.
It was so much fun. So yeah, we've been getting to go to all these things. It was Turning Point in Arizona, then we had AmpFest in Doral, the We Can Act conference, and it's really interesting. Everybody's just coming together on wanting the truth. At the end of the day, it's like they don't even care about the issues anymore. It's why is everyone lying to us, and what are we going to do to plan our action to make this end?
Oh, yes. It's a great plan of action, and it is obviously important in this fight. That I got into this on Twitter yesterday because I don't think it's a secret at this point then that I am not a fan of Joe Rogan. Not anything personal. Because he's a Bernie guy, and I'm just not going to go to a Bernie guy for information. That's all. I understand, but he's fair and he's objective and he's a Bernie guy. Okay, he said Michelle Obama would make a great president. I'm not interested in going to that person for any sort of tips or insights or political stuff. Now, there are people who listen to Joe Rogan for non-political reasons because he'll just have anybody on and they'll have a nice, 18-hour conversation. You could listen to that on a flight to New Zealand and land before the episode's over. I'm just kidding. It's just long. I have a short attention span, if you couldn't tell. I'm like a ping pong ball all over the place. Boing, 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 boing. So I can't even get the sound on in the episode. And apparently, a live update from the Cafero Mobile is that Russell the potato is on story number 2,000, and they left an hour ago. So the poor Russell the potato out there, he's yo, I got a story. Shh. It's too early this morning for stories. So my thoughts and prayers go out to the Cafero Mobile heading to Albany. And to anybody who's going to Albany today, anybody who's heading up there for that massive, massive rally, say hi to Kathy for me. She doesn't like me very much. Say hi to Kathy Cuomo in a dress today. And remember, if you're going over the Tappan Zee, double barrel middle fingers the whole way across that bridge, because it is not the Tappan Zee anymore.
The whole way.
The whole way.
It's tradition at this point. If you're not out there doing that every time you cross that bridge, it's about to fall apart.
No, the new bridge is nice, but they said they might have used faulty bolts.
Yes. How? And where did those bolts come from?
China.
Yes.
It probably came from China.
No, I'm pretty sure they did.
I think they came from China.
The Times Union did a nice piece on it. Very interactive, beautiful graphics.
Oh, Andy Whitman's in the chat. If you see him there, make sure all the caravans have road pizza. That's
Trump
not our
pizza.
job. That's not our job, Andy. The receiver of taxes and distributor of pizza. And I know that there's a lot of people right now that are on the way to Albany. So everybody out that's going up there, stay safe, be smart. Remember, we said be vigilant. Surround yourself with people you know and trust. You're one day before the anniversary of the fake insurrection. There may be people up there that are going to instigate and cause a little bit of a problem today. So I'm not saying that they're going to be there. I'm saying that there may be instigators there today. And anybody who's up there disrupting and instigating, just look at them and chant USA and let them see themselves out. So if they're going to be instigating, interrupting anything, causing a scene for any other reason than the fact that they're unhappy with the state of New York right now, ignore them. Just ignore them and dispatch and get rid of them as you see fit. Obviously in a non-violent, non-physical, if you can, manner. But obviously if push comes to shove, you have to do what you can to defend yourself. Okay, defend yourself. But make sure that when you're up there in Albany that we're careful, that we're smart, and that we're vigilant, and that we're alert to all of our surroundings up there, and have a good day. I mean, it's supposed to be a couple thousand people outside that Capitol building today, so I know a lot of people are on their way up to Albany. Stay safe, stay smart, and I'm looking forward to hearing from everybody throughout the day on how that rally is going. Photos, videos, all sorts of content. I'm sure we're going to be able to put out a lot of information going forward from today's rally in Albany. Also want to thank everybody for last episode on Monday. Our first episode back from a long break. I was upstate. We were in other states, and we just kind of, we didn't do the show as regularly as we wanted to over the last week and a half. And yet, despite all that, we had our most listened to from the podcast aspect, our most listened to episode in as short a time period ever. Now, it's not saying much because the audio is up there to be supplementary for everybody. If you don't want to watch the video and you want to play it in the background and have the show notes, that's fine. But it was our most downloaded and listened to episode ever on Monday, our first day back. So either everyone was really excited that we were back, or it was shared so rapidly and so frequently among people that it kind of started to spread the way our other viral content has spread. And I'm going to go with that one and say that everybody's doing a great job sharing. So if you can, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on Twitter, hit the retweet button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button. Stay in touch with what we're doing, and head over to this website right here. It's floating so nicely above Jamie's head, loudmajorityus.com. But whatever you do, do not post it on Facebook. You will get a community guidelines violation. It's spam, folks. The website is spam. It's as real as the person sitting underneath it. Are you really there? Yes, you are. You're not green screened in.
Maybe.
And but you can't post it on Facebook. So don't post a link. You can't send it in Messenger. You can't send it all over the place. It's spam. It's a community guidelines violation. No. But you can go to that website. You can sign up for the newsletter. You can never miss a thing. You can head to the shop. You can get the coolest Let's Go Brandon shirts in the country. They love it up in Otsego County, New York. We were in Walmart's parking lot wearing these shirts. People are screaming, Joe Biden, across the parking lot. Across the thing. We're in the store. I'm looking for hamburgers. So, let's go, Brandon. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm sitting there making that viral video, No Plan Joe, on TikTok. My buddy's here taking selfies, just people in the aisle. Look at these, let's go, Brandon. Shh. I'm making a video. You'll see it later. So it was a good time in upstate New York. But yes, head over to the shop, loudmajorityus.com. Like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, and share these videos on Facebook. Share these videos on YouTube. It's called Distribution by Proxy. And one of the things that I was able to talk about in Arizona with some of the guys from Veritas is that distribution by proxy works. The HHS whistleblower recently, one of Veritas's first drops with regards to Big Pharma in September, October, that individual link was embedded, I think they said, over 450,000 times. Just for to put it in perspective. My video that was just in Arby's that has been viewed over 5.4 million times has only been shared 60,000 times. 450,000 times. So distribution by proxy. Share it to people and send them to, look at this. Look at these people on the YouTube accusing people of getting fake stabbed. Yeah, I mean, that's even good for us. Look, I mean, we have a great chat. There are trolls in there. We know exactly who that one is. So, so it's not hard. But anyway, Jamie, what's on your mind? You're here nice and early. You haven't slept. What do you, because you're like, I walked in, you're like, oh my goodness, I haven't slept. I don't know how you do this. I don't know either. But what do you got on your mind? What's new? What's new with you? What's important? What do you want to chat about? I'm pulling up on GinoReport.com. There's plenty of stuff on there. I was just talking about it for the California show that I recorded. What's on your mind? I know there's some stuff that you want to get off your chest and talk about, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's see if Kevin's still paying attention. I know this issue's super important to him, too.
Oh, boy.
But so this month is actually Human Trafficking Awareness Month. And that's always pretty exciting for me. That's one of the things that inspired me to run for office, actually. And, it's just like the modern day slavery that they put new branding on. And people just don't understand what that exactly entails. And it drives me up a wall. Like, I don't want to hear about reparations from the left about historical issues when today we have more people enslaved than ever before. And this is like an issue for, I knew he was going to say something
he was going to be snarky.
I knew it.
So much for last night, too, the plan last night, Kevin. Maybe we can discuss this. I'm eating, Cafaro, and we're going to, I'm just going to take so much melatonin, I'm going to be out by the Cross Island Parkway.
Yeah,
you heard him say that last night, right?
I did.
I'll be out
melatonin.
I'll be out by the Cross Island Parkway. Well, if you haven't hit the Cross Island by now, I feel bad for you. And if you did hit the Cross Island Parkway and you're still awake, liar, liar, plans for hire. He hates the show SpongeBob, but it's okay. But continue, because he clearly is rooting you on now.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. But yeah, no, that was also one of the exciting things over this past year. I became the president of the Huntington Young Republicans.
Madam President,
and we were able to help a lot with you guys for Ray Tierney's campaign.
Oh, so much fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Ray, one of the first times I ever met him, I actually asked him about human trafficking, obviously. And it's one of the top 3 crimes happening in Suffolk County. New York is top 20 in the country for having this issue. And for some reason, we're just like never, ever talking about it. And it's something that impacts children at a very young age because of digital media and social media. They're able to connect with all of these, honest to God, random strangers. And the thing that like truly gets me the most enraged with this is like Twitter will allow child sex abuse material to be distributed freely, basically. Like people have to report these tweets so many times before they're pulled down. But if you put up something too funny or share your loudmajorityus.com link, that's reported as spam.
That's correct. And I blocked a troll. I didn't realize I could do that. I just blocked one of the YouTube trolls from the Restream chat. So their name was Nah Nah. So I think we could say, warm up the vocal cords, because I know they're still watching on their burner. Nah, 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 nah. I want the rest of the chat sing it. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. Woo! I'm playing games with the switcher now. And obviously, for those, I made the coffee a little stronger this morning than I normally do because I knew this was going to be a low sleep day. So I'm kind of flying around right now, bouncing around from topic to topic. I also want to once again throw a nod to somebody in the chat, Tatiana Ibrahim. I spoke to one of your friends last night, Tatiana, and somebody who I want to introduce to our group and our show at some point very soon. Her name is the Counterculture Mom, and I think Tatiana will know who I'm talking about when I say that. The Counterculture Mom, Tina Griffin. Look her up, counterculturemom.com. It's somebody who I think we're going to have on the show soon because I just spoke to her for Dr. Cordy's Unfettered Patriot today, which is a show I do for California, the California radio station. He's a Senate candidate. Excuse me. I still have some sort of the Omicron variant, which I don't know if you heard. This is a good one. I was just talking about this for the California show. The CDC revised the numbers again. So, yeah. So this is great. I was talking about being a ping pong brain, and there is some. Yes, I see here's Tatiana saying she's amazing. I love Tina. Tina Griffin's great. And if Tatiana loves this lady, that she's a firecracker. And by the way, the interview I did with her last night, I'll get that out to everybody this week. I was able to mute that before the cough. This way all you saw was the cough. Don't tell me there's no sound. Yes, and Tatiana's going on tour. I think that's called the Pop Culture Purge Tour. So for more information on that tour, you can text TOUR to 55444. That's coming from Tina herself, so that'd be great. But the CDC is messing with the numbers again. The headline here, townhall.com, amateur hour, another day, another CDC COVID rehearsal, right? So here we have over the holidays, remember this? The CDC said that 73% was Omicron. Remember that, Jamie?
Oh, yeah. How could we forget?
They were all, how could I forget? They were all, 73% Omicron variant. It's terrible. It's spreading crazy. It's worse than Delta. Oh, sorry. Let's walk that one back. Huge. This is a very big walk back. It's not like, when Adam Schiff added a period to the text message and everyone got a little excited about it. He changed it. It's like he added a dot. I don't think he should have done that, but that's what happened. But the CDC was saying 73%. We meant 23%. Here's from the article. The CDC had previously reported that as of December 18th, we were in Arizona, so can't claim responsibility for this one. 73% of new cases were linked to Omicron. But on Tuesday, the agency revised. That's yesterday. For the liberals watching, that's slow on the intake. Today is Wednesday. Hump day. Yesterday was Tuesday. So for the slow on the intake, yesterday. Okay. On December 18th, 73% of new cases were linked to Omicron, but on Tuesday, the agency revised those figures, slashing that estimate to 23%, a 50-point drop. 50 points! Suggesting that while the new variant was on the rise, it was not infecting people at the rate that the CDC had projected. The most recent report shows that as of December 25th, 59% of all U.S. infections were caused by Omicron. Meanwhile, Delta accounted for 41% of cases during the same period. So, if you're like me, you may be scratching your head. You may be scratching your head, right? Are you scratching your head?
I mean, I might be just
scratch your head.
A little bit,
yes.
A little bit,
So why would you scratch your head though? Because the CDC just gave you three different sets of numbers: 73%, 23%, and 59%. So what is it? We don't know. They said 3 and 4 COVID infections were Omicron in mid-December, then changed that number to 1 and 4, then said that the real stat at Christmas was 60%. Data guru Nate Silver reacted in a stunned tweet that read in part, "Seriously? WTF?" This is Nate Silver, by the way, and you know who he has, 538. Kind of leans to the left here. Seriously, WTF? I think we have to assume the CDC's method is crap and should be ignored going forward. This misfire was not merely confusing; it was actually harmful. I wonder, what do you think the chances are, Jamie, that Nate Silver is going to lose his Twitter account over that one?
I give it 3 days tops.
You think so?
Maybe.
I don't think he's losing his Twitter account.
You don't
But I think
so?
no, I think he's going to be okay. You know, because if his name was Jack Posobiec, he'd have lost his Twitter account.
Oh, well, obviously.
But Nate Silver leans to the left. He's kind of like Real Clear Politics. He aggregates poll numbers. He does a good job there. Objectively talking about numbers. But every now and then, he just kind of pushes his agenda through there, and it's kind of embarrassing. You want to be a polling guy, and you can't keep your biases out of there. It's pretty terrible. But it went from 73% to 23% to 60%, and now Nate Silver's pissed off.
Well, I feel like they're going to start eating each other.
They already have. Oops, sorry, they already have.
That's the thing, though. So, I mean, I could see some of these people actually starting to get censored for talking and questioning the CDC.
Well, they did sort of start to eat their own with Nicki Minaj, if you remember.
Oh, I do
She said something about a vaccine, and they went, nope, no more Twitter for you, and YouTube is gone, and all that other stuff. They just did it with Rogan, and Rogan is, again, not a conservative. So the left is right there. I mean, he's an open, and I give him credit for this, open, and he has an audience among conservatives, because there are people who go to him for just entertainment and no politics. Just fine. I have no problem with that. But he's an open Bernie supporter. He's an open supporter of Michelle Obama. And yet conservatives listen to him, which is fine. I'm not saying not to do that. But an open supporter of Bernie, an open supporter of Michelle Obama, and yet the left is still coming at him. So what does that prove? That proves that if you're nice to them, if you bow down to them, if you play by their rules for as long or short a time. He played by their rules to get the Spotify deal. And then all of a sudden, Spotify started censoring and regulating what type of content went up there. Now, Joe Rogan, as a free speech advocate, should be incensed by that. Now he's finally upset by that, by what's happening with the interview with Dr. Malone and with Dr. McCullough. And all of this that's happening with Joe Rogan. And again, I'm not a fan of his, and I've listened to a grand total of 0 episodes of the Joe Rogan podcast. I'm sorry. And everyone's going to go, well, how can you criticize him if you've never listened to his show? I'm not saying the show is bad. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying it's not for me, because I know what's for me and what's not for me. And I like to listen to political content, so I don't want to listen to a Bernie guy for 3 hours a day talk to, a sleep doctor. That's just not, and so in certain circumstances, Jamie thinks that's funny. So in some circumstances, I could say that the Rogan show is not for me, but the left is eating their own there. There's no doubt about it. Joe Rogan is a leftist, and the left is upset with Joe Rogan. So you're right in that aspect, that the left is absolutely eating their own.
I can't wait to watch him just keep going. It's going to be like Snake.
What, Joe Rogan?
Or no, just the left eating themselves.
Snake, like the video game?
Yeah.
Or like Pac-Man, waka, 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 waka,
well, I mean,
waka,
I guess
waka.
it could be like Pac-Man, but...
But that's too gender specific.
Ugh.
Pac person. Pac circle. I mean, true. How long until we cancel Pac-Man? Because Pac-Man is that's too.
Are
that's
you
not
sure
gender.
Pac-Man identifies as a circle?
Oh, well, can you be transshapual?
I feel like you could be
Can you
anything
be
you
a
want. It's 2022.
You could be a square that identifies as a. You could be a square that identifies as a rectangle, because I think the definition of rectangle is 4 sides and 4 angles. And then a square would be 4 sides with the same thing, right? So a square could be a rectangle, but a rectangle cannot be a square. So there is some of that trans stuff going on with the shapes too in geometry, which I'm sure, according to there you go. I was just gonna say, Tatiana was talking about how they're infusing all of this nonsense in the education for the kids, and here she is, literally reading my mind in the chat. You know why? Because she's a legend, and legends think alike. So it's great. But, hey, listen, 73%. We had a 73% Omicron, 73. Here's another one. Latest, the newly updated CDC guidelines don't require testing at the end of isolation. Because, you ready for this? Oh, my goodness. You ready for this? This is great. This is not what I wanted. This is great. The newly updated CDC guidelines don't require testing at the end of isolation because PCR tests can stay positive for up to 12 weeks. 12 weeks, CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky tells Good Morning America. So You could test positive for COVID. If you need to test again at the end of isolation, you could still pop it positive on a PCR test, which is that long Q-tip that's about this long. Okay, the longest Q-tip in the history of Q-tips. What do you think about it? Goes all the way up your nose to China. They shove that thing so far up your nose, it's coming out your backside. You can still test positive for 12 weeks. Imagine going through 12 weeks of PCR tests until you come back negative so that you can finally go back to work, even though you're probably not contagious and it's just a cold.
No, I can't. It sounds like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
Like, for what?
It is a lot of work to prevent a virus with a 99.98% survival rate from spreading, even though it's nothing that's going to stop the spread. We're dealing with millions of cases a day. Millions of cases a day. Now, all of a sudden, we're not hearing about cases. Now, it's no longer about cases. Now, and apparently, despite the fact that everybody's getting it and the majority of the population is vaccinated, it is still a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Isn't that nice how that works?
They're just trying to divide, man.
That's all it is. That's all it is. You want some coffee?
I would love some coffee.
So go over there. It's over there.
Oh, you have some?
Of course I made it.
I don't know. It seemed like you had like 5 cups before I even got here.
No,
Is it just the strong kind?
It's what it. Yeah. It's pretty much a rocket fuel type thing. I mean, it's not like what Kevin normally makes. Kevin usually makes mud, with that. It's like basically, it's basically coffee ground, the stuff, with a little bit of water. It's kind of got the consistency of silly putty.
He fills it up to like the brim.
He does. He fills it up to the brim and then doesn't use the Kevin. I know you're listening. You don't use the scooper to put the thing in there, the Bradley scooper. You use a mug. He literally goes in there with the coffee mug. Goes like this. He's gonna come in there with a shovel one day and just be in the coffee can and shoveling things in. Like, Kevin, you're gonna kill us. My heart's gonna explode. No, but it's great. Kofifi. Okay. And Tatiana says, "Save me some coffee." Kevin says, "I pour, I don't scoop." Yes, Bradley Scooper. That's the new. That's me. When I am in charge of the coffee, I am Bradley Scooper.
Bradley Scooper. I should have known. I should have just known to walk in and go right there, to it.
There's always coffee in there. I walked in last night and there was coffee.
You know what's reliable?
What's reliable?
Coffee in this office, and it's more reliable than the CDC.
You know what else is more reliable than a CDC? A broken clock. Okay. So a broken clock, and they always say a broken clock is right twice a day, but if you're using military time, it's only right once a day. But that's only if it's a digital clock. If it's one of those analog clocks, it is still twice a day. But in digital clock format, a broken clock is right once a day if you're using military time. Because when you get to 6 o'clock, it's 1800. It's not 6 anymore. so it's and I was always fascinated by that. Just when I was a little youngster, around 6th grade or so, I had a digital watch, and I was messing around with it one day, and I saw that it can go up to 24-hour format, and I was so fascinated by the fact that my little watch was going to be a rebel, right? It was going to be a rebel. It was going to say 13 o'clock on it. And so I was watching it. It got to 12:59, and it went to 13. I threw a little silent party for myself at my desk, 6th grade, right? It's like, yeah, it's just 1 o'clock. And, and so it went on. It was great. And then I was like, oh, that's awesome. Now I'm going to wait another hour so it says 14, and I continued doing that. And then when it hit midnight and the clock was just all zeros, I was like, I am never changing this format back again. And so you could see on my computer, it doesn't say AM, okay, because it's 7:31. You can see on my phone, same deal. It's all the 24-hour time. It's the best way to do it.
I've got the same thing going.
You got 24-hour clock on your phone?
Yeah.
Good.
It's the only way to go. Listen, back in the day.
Just like we should use the metric system, too. How much easier is it, the metric system? Feet to yards. Well, there's 3 feet in the yard. How about there's 10 meters? Or no, it's 100 meters. 100?
I'm honestly not.
There's 1,000 meters. There's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. How about that? What's good? What was that thing that they put up there? There was like a whole... please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's PEMDAS. That's what the parentheses and all that stuff. There's other stuff that goes on. The metric system.
I did a lot to block that out.
Well, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. My dear Aunt Sally is a liberal. She wears a mask. She's quadruple vaxxed. Okay? I don't have an Aunt Sally. Just kidding. So who's ready for their boosters? Russell's still talking, even though we're both watching the show on 2 different phones. Wow, I feel bad for that car. How long till Albany, folks? There's way too much math and geometry for a morning show. Andy Whitman. Well, sorry, I couldn't be any less energetic because I didn't have any pizza at 4:30 this morning. What a day that was by Andy Whitman, the receiver of taxes and distributor of pizza. Fantastic thing. So, and then again, the CDC too, Rachel, whatever her name is, Walensky, now finally coming out and telling us that, oh, by the way, I don't know if it was Walensky, it might have been one of those other ones though, but somebody came out and it was just saying, and one of those experts, so to speak, that cloth face masks don't work. After 2 years.
They're just so gross. Like, at what point is it like, oh, I'll just, keep the thing over my face? Like, no, I want to just breathe.
Yeah. And when they come out and tell you that a cloth face mask doesn't work, but for the last 2 years, we've had to sit on airplanes with everything, including cloth face masks. God. We've got school, we got lunch, we got classes.
The airplane, though, we got to talk about that.
Let's talk about the airplane.
Sitting on the plane, having that screen in your face, showing you the message that's like, oh, the air filters here are 99.9, what is it, like HEMA or something? HEPA, thank you. Yes, HEPA filtered.
The HEPA filters.
There's like no viruses that are going to fly through here, and you're like sitting there wearing a mask reading this.
Right.
And if I were to wear a mask like that, I mean, I think I would get thrown off the plane.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wearing a mask now because I think Jamie's a super spreader, and I'm actually very concerned with...
You're the one hacking.
Yeah, but it's my public health. I'm hacking because you clearly transmitted the virus to me. First of all, it's funny because we're on the screen, we're socially distanced, do you see? I'm not in your shot, you're not in my shot, so we're socially... But I can't do this. I mean, first of all, stop yelling. Your droplets are traveling across the room. I'm going to get infected. Look at that. Do you see this super spreader laughing? Ha, I'm going to get him sick. Yeah, right. I got a mask on. I'll show you. What the heck happened there? I'll show you, though, what my mask looks like. Courtesy of Joe the Box, because he's the man. There it is. It's a Trump mask. Let's see if it comes through. What does it say? I don't know what it says. But Donald Trump's on there, okay? It's pretty funny.
I think it just says Trump train.
Yeah, we're having a fun time this morning. I'm not afraid of the virus anymore, but we're having a fun time this morning. So, for those of you guys heading up to Albany, you guys and gals, have a fun time up there today. We're really excited to hear about it. I can't wait to hear and see all of the content and the videos and the pictures and all the stories that come from today. A quick reminder for those of you who are heading up to Albany. Now, if you're driving, don't do this while you're driving, okay? But if you are going to be in Albany today, when you get there, if you can please, for those that are watching right now, heading to Albany, if you're not heading to Albany, do this right now. Right now. Go to our YouTube channel. Go to our Facebook page. Go to our Twitter. And go to our website, loudmajorityus.com. It's the website floating right above Jamie's head, right there. She's trying to do her best Vanna White. That's racist. Vanna. So loudmajorityus.com. You can head there and go to our website, sign up for the newsletter, check out the shop. It's just been redone. Shout out to Travis, who just reworked our website yesterday. I think it looks good. Jamie thinks it looks good. She's got an eye for that type of thing.
Beautifully.
So it looks fantastic. Okay, I just have to say, it looks, quite frankly, here we could do something like this. Vicky Paladino just texted me. This is breaking news, folks. She's going to be escorted out of City Hall today. Apparently, she's not complying with something. I have a feeling this has to do with masks. But that's just Vicky being Vicky, right? We love her. She said she's getting escorted out of City Hall today. What a fantastic thing. Vicky Paladino says, we will not comply. And we're not going to comply with stupidity. Okay? What do you think about it? She literally just texted me. You saw what was on the screen?
That was, so exciting.
There she is. The plan is... she's probably not even going to be allowed inside the building. Unbelievable.
That's pretty amazing.
I'm just responding. I would like to see some video of this, and we will we will send that story all over the place. And Jennifer Roman, who's on YouTube because she's in Facebook jail, writes, and she's one of the fierce West Babylon moms, and I don't say fierce in a bad way, I say it in a good way, tenacious. Her and April and a bunch of other moms from West Babylon are killing it on that front. But she says if you're sitting, it can't get you. But here's the problem, Jen. I'm actually sitting, but am I really standing? Because my stool is high, so now I'm down here. But if I'm all the way up here, the virus could be traveling at this altitude and decide it's going to get me. Especially if this one over here keeps being a super spreader, because it's really scaring me this morning. And then Tatiana also said that she wants me to talk in my Trump voice when we finally do get the chance to meet. Of course, that's going to happen. It's fun. It'll be a fantastic thing. You know, the hero of the Carmel School District, Tatiana Ibrahim, she's a fantastic person, highly respected. One of the first to get into the school board game. She went in there and said some crazy things, fantastic things, and put the school board on notice, believe me.
She's absolutely amazing.
She's a warrior.
Watching her, I was like, wow. You're my spirit animal, I think.
Definitely my spirit animal. When I watch, I could watch that, and Jamie has seen, we've been in the office, we've been working, and kind of take a break. I put that video on and listen to Tatiana just go off on her school board, and it was respectful too, but it was so. They tried to be like, "Ma'am, your time's up," and she's like, "I don't think so. I'm just gonna. My time's up when I say it's up.
My time is now, and you are gonna listen."
That's it. And that's how she operates, and that's why I would never get on her bad side. And that's what Kevin says too. He would rather deal with Antifa than a bunch of angry unmasked moms, because Mama Bear is not fun to deal with when Mama Bear is angry.
Well, I mean, the communists in government are going to learn that real quick, because they're definitely overstepping their bounds.
They absolutely are. They're doing way too much right now, and. Let's see. Vicky is saying that today is the first day of the city council session. She's going to be seeing this happen around 12:30, and hopefully we can get some, just some updates on that story. But it's always a good day when it's 7:40 in the morning. You get a text from one of the most fiery city council representatives out there, a Republican city council woman-elect, Vicky Paladino, saying there's going to be a problem already. And so this is why they didn't want her to win, and this is why we wanted her to win so bad, because she's awesome. We knew she wouldn't sell out, and today she is getting ready to make some waves in the city council. Again, for those of you heading up to Albany, or those of you who are not heading up to Albany, head over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Long Island Loud Majority. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Instagram @LoudMajority. You guys did a great job sharing out that reel about the idiot known as AOC the other day. That was a fun one. And for those of you guys watching on Twitter, retweet everything. We share it like you've never shared it before. And continue. Thank you for your continued support of our show and our movement. We look to grow it, and it's going to be a fun year. Now, heading on to another story, because obviously we know that the cloth face masks don't work. We know that the CDC is eating it on the numbers. Why don't we talk about, real quick, a very interesting indicator for the Democrat Party, a very troubling indicator if you're a Democrat hopeful. If you're one of the slow on the intake liberals who are watching the stream, we can go a little slower for you right now, and that's because Hispanic voters are leaving the Democrat Party at a pace that is not sustainable for the Democrat Party's survival. Democrats face a brutal reckoning with Hispanic voters. This is on the Political Insider. It came off of BonginoReport.com. It's by A.B. Stoddard of Real Clear Politics. I love Real Clear Politics. I go to them all the time for polling information and whatnot. These days, this is the article, the Democrat Party is like a sad addict whose life has fallen apart with too much to resolve and repair all at once. I can actually wrap that up in one funny little phrase, and that's crackhead on the loose, last seen smoking crystal meth out of a Pepsi can. You never seen that?
No. No.
You've never seen that?
No.
Where were you in Arizona? Oh yeah, you were doing your thing in Arizona with Revolution. Oh man, it's actually really funny. It's a guy by the name of Bob Menery. He's on social media.
Oh, stop. That's a great profile.
Bob Menery?
Yeah.
Yeah. Crackhead on the loose. Last seen smoking crystal meth out of a Pepsi can. Well, what do you think about it? Crystal meth. Well, we know that a certain president's son likes to smoke crystal meth, okay, or crack. You could talk about it. It's not the same thing. They're different things. But they like to smoke it. His name is Hunter. His first name is Wares. His second name is Hunter. This is the video I was talking about right here. Yeah.
One crackhead on the loose, last seen smoking crystal meth out of a Pepsi can. Drives directly into a tree. Police are surrounding him, and I think that's all she wrote.
The rest of it's not necessarily appropriate for a show we like to try and keep family friendly, but that would be the way that I would describe the addict aspect of what's going on here. But Democrats are struggling among Hispanics. Do you remember what the number one thing they said about Donald Trump was in 2016, Jamie?
That he hated everybody,
Yeah,
honestly.
especially who?
The Hispanics.
Yeah, why?
They got to build the wall, man.
Yes, because walls are racist, okay?
Yeah. They're racist.
Yeah, watch, do it. They're racist, okay?
They're racist.
These
They're
walls
not
are racist.
saying they're
These
bad.
walls are racist. They're racist, okay? They're racist. I put way too much coffee in the pot this morning. It's not a good thing. But they are... Trump. They said Trump was racist in 2016 because he wanted to build a wall.
Yeah.
He wanted to build a wall. He wanted to build a wall. He wanted to build a wall. Well, unfortunately, that message has been lost on Hispanic voters.
Do you think so?
I think so. We're going to read this article. The aching hip and broken relationships can be put off for another day, but the lost job, wrecked car, and empty bank account require immediate attention. President Biden and the Democrats are simultaneously working to stave off the failures of his economic agenda, control a once again rampaging pandemic, mitigate the effects of the worst inflation since 1982, and rescue democracy from the new laws that permit the GOP to nullify the next election, all before they likely lose both chambers of Congress next year. There are way too many liabilities to count, but there is one new and glaring problem that has nothing to do with bickering factions in Congress and cannot be explained away by global trends or the potency of election conspiracies and propaganda. A distinct group, and Vicky says she's tuned in, a distinct group of their supporters is leaving them. Many Hispanic voters, long a reliable part of the Democratic coalition, have walked away. It is not yet a majority of them, but the numbers are dramatic. Biden won 750,000 fewer Hispanic voters in 2020 than crooked Hillary Clinton did in 2016. An electoral college, in an electoral college victory, like this. An electoral college victory, he nearly lost by fewer than 45,000 votes in 3 states. Donald Trump improved his margin with these voters by 8 percentage points in 4 years, according to an analysis. Why must we write Sally sold seashells by the seashore in all these articles?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do the writing thing. You understand not to do that.
And every time I do it, I sit there and I rack my brain. I'm like, I need to read this out loud because... That's how I assume everyone reads. I just assume when people read, you're using your speaking out loud voice. I don't know. Yeah, that's. So every time I write something, I'm like, oh, whoa, that's like a tongue twister. I don't think these people really. I think they have to maybe hit deadlines quicker, faster, more. I don't know.
Or just not use so many words.
Maybe not.
Well, George Carlin made the joke.
Which one?
George, about airlines. We would like to begin the boarding process. He goes, extra word, process. We would like to begin boarding. You don't have to say process.
Yeah.
Right? He always makes that joke about a rain event. He goes, well, I better buy tickets to that. Weathermen. They talk about this all the time. Oh, speaking, we might be getting some snow on Friday. And if we get enough, there will be a Long Island Loud majority igloo stream. So we will be trying to do that Friday if we do get enough snow. I don't know if we're going to get enough snow for it, but if we do, we'll be building an igloo. So just to let you know, we'll be getting Trump the Eskimo. Okay, Trump the Eskimo built a big, beautiful igloo, and normally I like to move my properties to warm places, but we're going to do the igloo because it's a fantastic thing. You talk about the great state of Alaska, and they've got a problem. Her name is Lisa Murkowski. She's a problem. Oh, no, is that her? She's Alaska? She's Alaska, and Susan Collins is Maine. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. You think it's not? All right.
No,
let's go.
I believe you.
No, you don't. You're like Zuckerberg and the fact checkers. I'm going to find out now. Lisa.
Well, I mean, maybe it's Nebraska.
Nebraska? You think? Wait, hold on a second. Everybody heard me say Lisa, or heard Jamie say Lisa Murkowski.
I just said maybe.
Maybe it's from Nebraska. It could be from Nebraska. Okay, here we go. You ready? Let me see what we got here.
Let's see what we got.
Let's see what we got. Lisa Murkowski. Murkowski wishes
Alaska.
Alaska. Oh, Alaska.
Nice.
Alaska rhymes with Nebraska.
Nice.
It does. Okay.
Look at you go.
Look at you go. You're like Dr. Seuss in the house.
Of course.
Alaska rhymes with Nebraska. Nebraska rhymes with Alaska. Potato rhymes with potato. I don't know. Shout out to Russ.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Anyway, I'm going to try and do something here. I got a text. There goes Bob. Bob Menery was making an appearance. Why don't we try this? I'm going to try and call Vicky, and we're going to see if we can get an update on the situation. I'm going to try. I don't have the way to wire the phone in, but I'm going to try and give her a call real time right now to see if we can get an update on this city council situation. Let's see if we can get her on the phone.
Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Vicky. You're live on the stream right now. And you're on speaker here because we're all fascinated with regards to why what the hell's going to happen at City Hall today.
I know pretty much what's going to happen at City Hall today. Today is historic. It's the first day of City Council to start the new year. Adrienne Adams will be sworn in today voted in, I should say, as the first woman of color to become the Speaker of the City Council. So it's somewhat historic. And on that note, due to my vaccination status, I was told that there is no way I'm going to even be allowed into City Hall.
Wow. And that's because you haven't gotten like your 18th booster shot or something like that?
Right, exactly. I had COVID back when COVID in 2020.
Right.
When COVID was, and I took care of myself. I did everything I was supposed to do.
You had what's called OG COVID.
Yeah, exactly. Right. OG COVID. So now I did what I was supposed to do. Everybody did. My immune system is strong. I went and got purposely went and got a test done yesterday, which came back negative. I have a great mask to wear, and I want to do my job. I was elected. I am an elected official of the city of New York. I want to do my job. So they're telling me because the meeting, because of COVID, not everybody has to go. They're doing something called hybrid. So they cannot deny me a vote ever. So I will be voting hybrid, and that's supposed to be okay with me. It's not. I belong in city council chambers. So it's pretty much what is going on all over the city when people come in and talk to me, and they're not allowed to work unless they're vaccinated. And now, my husband as well. He has to be vaccinated in order to do his job, which was that just happened over the Christmas holiday.
Right.
So they have testing sites set up, all over the city. 9 zillion people are going to get tested, even though they have no symptoms. It's just become a circus is what it's become. So I have a job to do. I will do my job, and I will fight for my district. And let's remember, these mandates are unlawful. These mandates are crippling our city economically, emotionally, and every which way. I am not going to, I don't think it's anybody's business whether they're vaccinated or not. And let me make it very clear. I am not anti-vax.
Right.
That above all else. I want everybody to know that.
Right.
You want to get a vaccine, I want to get a vaccine. Whoever wants to get vaccinated, get vaccinated.
Sure.
Whatever. But it's for your own, you feel safe, do it.
It's your choice.
But don't, it's your choice. But do not burden the average Joe and Jane who need to work, but don't want to get vaccinated, or work, or maybe don't want to show their papers.
Right.
This has become a state of mind, a state of state, a state of city. We cannot do that because here in New York, we could go out by you guys cross over the Nassau County line, and we don't have to show anything.
No.
You know, you guys did a great job out there in Suffolk and parts of Nassau. Most of you were red now, right? You had a red wave. Like
we had a massive we had a massive red wave. Nassau County elected a new Republican county executive, a new Republican district attorney. Suffolk County elected a new Republican district attorney. The Suffolk County legislature is firmly in the majority of the Republicans now. So 21 locally here on Long Island was a phenomenal year for the Republican Party.
I think what's most disturbing to me is the division that's being set up between just regular people.
Yeah.
You know, people turning on others. Whether it's a racial thing, black versus white, brown versus black and white, you know, economically, if you're sound, you're not supposed to be sound. If you're vaccinated, if you're not vaccinated.
Right.
It's gotten so out of control, and the amount of division and hatred out there for those who just, you know, there was a time not long ago, 2 years ago, when you were just able to be who you are.
Right.
Nobody criticized you. Nobody held your hand over the fire or called you names. So this to happen in 2 short years is pretty damn disgusting, and everybody should be pretty damn ashamed of themselves. So kudos to Suffolk and Nassau counties. I'm hoping with the new mayor, and I've put out several Facebook posts about this, and Twitter. I got very active on Twitter, by the way.
Good stuff.
So, really good stuff. So, all I'm saying is, leave me be.
That's right.
Leave me be.
That's right.
all I said. So all I said yesterday was, please leave me be.
That's it.
I have a negative COVID test. I have a great mask to put on, one that fits their, you know, what you need, because these masks don't work. That's another joke.
Well, the CDC just said that. They just came out and said that. They just came out and said that cloth masks don't work. And so now, but they're still telling you have to wear one. And the kids too.
And the kids, you know, when I think about our kids, and that's one committee I really want to get on for the young people.
Right.
I'm all about them because they are being robbed of their childhood and preteen ages.
Absolutely.
You know, these 12 and 13-year-olds, I held a meeting yesterday in my office. It went on for 3 hours. And it was all about the preteens. What we used to call preteens. I don't know what the hell. Everybody gets a new name these days.
Adolescents or, whatever they want to call them now.
Yeah, tweens. I don't know, and I don't care. Okay, the bottom line is they're getting robbed of their childhood. There's no socialization. They are being severely mentally challenged now. Sports. You live here. You're in a prison. You go 5 minutes away from my house into Nassau County.
Yep.
And you're free again.
Yep.
You know, does everybody get it? Economically, we're killing our city. We're killing our kids. We're killing the heartbeat.
Right.
And they walk around prancing around as if this is the new way of life. No, it's not. COVID's never going away. The vaccines don't work. The masks don't work. Leave people alone. And the other thing, which I hate to sound cliche, but it is, where is the common cold and flu season? This was known as the flu and cold season.
Yes.
What the hell? Where did that go? And
it took a year off. Now it's back. Now apparently it's back. They're calling it flu-rona now. People are getting the flu and coronavirus at the same time.
All the ribbons and bows they put on these names of COVID. I mean, give me a break, will you?
I'm with you.
Okay? If you don't have a fever and your chest doesn't feel like it weighs a ton, and you have the sniffles and a cough and a cold, do me a favor, stay home.
Well, that used to be the thing, Vicky. That used to be it. That used to be it. Remember, if you don't feel sick, you weren't sick. Now, all of a sudden, if you don't feel sick, you're sick. Because not having symptoms is having symptoms now. Oh, but you could be asymptomatic. Well, if you're asymptomatic, you're not transmitting. Remember, they told you if you were vaccinated. They told you if you were vaccinated, you could not transmit the virus. But they won't say that if you're asymptomatic, you can't transmit the virus. And that they tell you to follow the science and follow the experts. It pisses me off.
Well, you know what? They're not following the science.
No, they're not.
Let's be clear. Okay, what science? You know, Sean,
their
I've been
science.
saying it Right. I've been saying it for 2 years now, since January of 2020, when they, or I should say March, when they started to put out these graphs. Show me the numbers.
Right.
Numbers.
Right.
Numbers. I want numbers, real live numbers. And if you run the numbers and you take off the thousands upon thousands of people, nursing home murders, which he's going to skate for that.
He's going to skate.
Okay? What a shame. So you take off, you find the bottom line number. 22 million people live in the state and city of New York, right?
Right.
Combined. Find out how many people died. Find out in 2020 how many people died.
Right.
Out of that 22 million. Deduct the 15 to 18,000 who died of nursing home murders.
Right.
All right?
Right.
15 to 18,000. And you're going to tell me for the 20,000 that died of so-called of COVID-19, because there were people that were denied elective surgeries,
right,
who died.
Right.
There were people who had fourth-stage cancer who died.
Right.
There are people who died from heart attacks, but everything on their death certificates, and
COVID.
I have proof of that, they say COVID.
Yep.
So, was this enough to kill our city and state? And the morale of the people of the city and state of New York? Most definitely not. So when they write about me in the Post tomorrow, they will write about me in the Post, well, today, it'll come out tomorrow. I stand up against all mandates. This
Good.
will not prevent me from doing my job. I will do my job. I am not against vaccines. Let me make that very clear. And this will be my statement. And I wish Adrienne Adams the very best of luck as making history today. And I look forward to working with her in the coming year.
Awesome.
Adrienne and I talked on New Year's Eve. She called me on New Year's Eve to wish me a happy New Year. She cannot wait to meet me. And I thought I would be meeting with Adrienne today. So, another honor. I also had coming to my office people who were running for Speaker of the City Council. So they came, they saw, they sat for 2 hours, we chatted. We, understand that bridges must be built.
Correct.
We must do everything, and I told Adrienne this as well, we must do everything in our power to move this city forward.
Correct.
To put the 8 years of disaster that was Bill de Blasio and everything he brought with him into this office to ruin this city, and did. We must put that behind us. We must look forward and just do everything in our power to get along, try to find a mutual agreement on most everything if we can. Nobody's going to agree. It's a 50-50 world. But with everything, we love this city above all else. We love its people beyond all else. Otherwise, we would not be doing what we're doing.
Correct.
So let's work together. Let's push forward. And this is not the way to start.
No.
By asking an elected official to leave when she is negative in her testing. She's already had COVID.
Right.
And I will be wearing a mask. Now, here's something a little odd also. If the gallery above our heads were open in chambers, do you know, Sean, that you would be allowed into chambers?
Yes.
Without showing proof of vaccine?
Mm-hmm.
So that means every Jane and John Doe can go in and watch city council hearings when the gallery is open and not show proof of vaccine.
Wow.
All you need to do is put a mask on. But I, as an elected official, and anybody else out of the 51, out of the elected officials, we all need to show proof of vaccination.
That's incredible.
Why? Like the people above our heads who might be coughing and sneezing and blowing their noses all
Right.
over us, they're okay, but an elected official by the people, for the people,
Right.
have to abide
Well, it's
by
completely
these things.
anti-science. It's completely anti-science. It's completely anti-logic. But it was very good hearing from you this morning. It was a surprise. We didn't expect to.
You know, I miss you.
We miss you too.
I miss you. You know I love you.
Yeah, we love
I
you too,
didn't see
Vicky.
me. I saw her.
You got it. Yeah, she's over here. She says hello.
Hi, howdy.
So
Hi,
and so.
Peyton, how are you?
Yep. And
Good.
so
Okay.
so we are but we're fired up and definitely fired up to hear how that goes for you. So keep us in the loop. I miss you
All
dearly.
right, and Sean, the Whitestone Republican Club meeting is
January
next Wednesday
12th.
night, the 12th.
Yes.
Okay. All right, and my swearing in, I will be talking to you about. All
yes,
right?
very good. We were
That's
talking
at the
about
end
that
of the
too.
month.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, I'm
thank
looking
you,
forward to
darling.
it. Thanks for jumping on, Vicky. That was have a good day. Good luck with everything.
You too. Bye.
That was District 19, the new city councilwoman, Vicky Paladino in Whitestone, Queens. Good to hear from Vicky. I haven't heard from her in a while.
I love Vicky.
Yeah.
She is just like a little fireball.
She's a big fireball, like
Well,
very, very
yeah,
noisy. But
but-
she's, you don't think, and then all of a sudden you see what happens. And she won that election. She won that because of her volunteers and her people, and because she wasn't afraid to stand up, and she's still not afraid to stand up. As you see, they're keeping her from going to work today. So that's just more proof, and we need folks like Vicky who are going to get into elected positions and fight like hell. And
That's why she had that quote in her office.
Yep.
She may be little, she's fierce.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's her.
And that's an understatement when you're talking about Vicky. She's great. And we need more firecrackers, more fighters in all positions of elected office. Why our goal is if we can get the right people participating in elections, we can get the right people to win elections. And that's where we really start and stop here with Loud Majority. So it is 8:02. It was a quick moving hour. Thank you, Jamie, for jumping on with us today. How'd you like it?
It was a blast.
No, we had fun, right? Did we have fun? And very happy. So we're going to get to getting these episodes up online. Once again, head to youtube.com/Long Island Loud Majority. Give it a like, give it a share, give it a subscribe. Turn on the notifications. Hit the facebook.com. You're on Facebook. You can go to Long Island Loud Majority, like and follow the page. Twitter, follow and retweet the page. And folks, on Instagram, @Loud Majority. Do that as well. Get in there. Jump on that page. Share it with your friends. We're not being helped by big tech. But I can say also, we're on Getter. And we have a verified account on Getter. That's GETTR, Getter. It's at The Loud Majority. The Loud Majority. There are other accounts on there. That's not us. We're at The Loud Majority. We are verified on Getter. So get over there as well. We're going to be doing a lot of work on that platform soon. And Truth Social comes out next month. We're all excited for the return of free speech on the internet. We're also working on starting up a Rumble page so where all of our videos can be hosted there without fear of censorship. Until Friday morning, folks, if you're headed to Albany, stay safe, be smart, be peaceful, be patriotic, and be careful out there in Albany today. Until next Wednesday, this is my favorite part. You're going to watch the chat here, Jamie. You're going to see what happens. We repeat these 4 words over and over and over again until the people in power finally get it or get the hell out of our way. And what are those 4 words, chat? You see it starting to light up over there. They're going absolutely wild. We love it when they do this. It's the best part of the morning, except for the fact that we have to sign off. But those 4 words are that if we do not consent, here it comes, we will not comply. We love you. We love you so much. I think Jamie loves you too.
I love you all.
There you go. And so thank you guys. God bless you guys. God bless America. Stop complying. And no matter what happens, you stop complying and you stay loud.